coming. Would you rise and join with me in the salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We will open the meeting of the Middlesex County Utility Authority Commissioners of Tuesday, June the 25th, 2019. And I call the meeting to order, and we did the Pledge of Allegiance. May we please have a roll call?
Chairman Light.
Here.
Vice Chairman Wiley.
Here.
Commissioners Convery.
Here.
Deal.
Here.
Jacobs. Giuliano.
Here.
Murray.
Here.
Rodor. Here.
Do that faster every time that you do it. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. Adequate notice of the meeting as required by the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975 has been provided by publication on March 15, 2019 in the Home News and the Home News Tribune and the Courier News. We have two proclamations that are going to be made for people who are retiring. And I get all choked up when people retire, so I'm going to have to let you do it.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. And,
no, go ahead. I'm
sure? Okay. I apologize. We're going to go a little bit out of order. I'm going to ask Bob Gann, if he doesn't mind. Bob, come on up. And I want to introduce to you Bob's son, Robert, and Bob's son, Christian, who are with him today. I get a chance to brag on you here a little bit, Bob. And we think that's fabulous. And Bob is also joined. Victor, you want to come up and join us here for a moment? Victor Santa Maria. So Bob began his career here at the MCUA as a maintenance mechanic September 17th, 1984. He doesn't look any worse for wear, does he? He was promoted to A mechanic, and then he became our chief welder in September of 1993. And during his career here, Bob was involved in many of the fabrication jobs at the pump station, and here at the Central Treatment Plant. As well as a variety of other maintenance and welding activities. Some people are pretty surprised you're retiring, Bob, to put it mildly. And what we're happy for you for is that you have the opportunity to spend more time with your family, enjoying what you do best, which my understanding is hunting and fishing.
Yes, sir.
Bob's a fisherman, to put it mildly. And some people say that they're hopeful that you might even get a new motorcycle one of these days as well. Bob's planning on spending some of his retirement. He's got a home on the lower Adirondack Mountains with your son and your daughter. And I also understand that you're also planning on spending some time in Louisiana with your son as well. Anyone knows here from Bob's legacy the challenge of the plant in terms of the variety of applications that are helping here, in particular in the welding, is hugely important. And one of those things that, as a plant goes around and functions properly each and every day, it's one of those jobs that makes it happen, makes it consistent. And your performance, from what I understand, including from the man standing right behind you, has been first rate for years and years. You've presented a standard of excellence that I hope that many of us can hope to achieve in the future. You've done well here, and on behalf of all of us, we're grateful. I know Chairman has a proclamation to give you and something on behalf of the MCUA. But from all of us here, I've had the opportunity to work with you through the years. Thank you, sir, for a job well done. Thank you. One more time. His son Christian works with us, and Christian is the first. He's the first, right?
Right, first apprentice to go through electrical.
Right. Christian is the first apprentice in our program to done all the completed steps, and is an electrician here today as a result. So Bob's not only carved the path, he's finally getting out of Christian's way as well. So we're appreciative of that. So you got a legacy that still continues. So thank you, sir, and we'll let Chairman White present this to you.
Bring your family up when we do this?
Bring your family up. Come on, let's get some
family.
pictures and give us a chance to say thank you, Bob.
Go right
Shake your hands. Congratulations. Long company. Let's turn around this way. Come on in, Vic.
Come on, Vic, you've been here with me the whole time.
In fact, if I fall down, you can help me up. Proclamation. The Board of Commissioners of the Middlesex County Utility Authorities hereby issues the following proclamation on behalf of Robert Gant. whereas Robert Gann has worked at the Middlesex County Utility Authorities for a period of 35 years, and I'm only 36. And double that and then some. And whereas Robert will be concluding his employment with the authority by way of retirement from his current title as Chief Welder on July 1, 2019. And whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to thank Robert for his years of faithful service to the authority, and whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to memorialize the expression of congratulations to Robert Gant by way of a proclamation presented at a public meeting of the Board. Now therefore, the Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims its sincere gratitude to Robert for his contributions over the course of his career to the authority and extends his best upon him for his retirement from service. Signed for the Chairman of the Board. Robert, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working for you. You've done an excellent job. Oh, okay, thank you. You want anything else to say, or let's go picture? Turn it that way.
That's it.
Sad to see the good guys go.
Gotta go sooner or later.
You do.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Robert. So now we have to say goodbye to Miss Karen, right? Everyone's Miss Karen, who has never had a bad day and has a true love of life, and I think that's probably the most important thing I can say here as we talk. Come on up, Karen. We can embarrass you. We may make you come on. Karen was hired, it's okay to say, right? Karen was hired on December 27th, 1995. She joined us from the Solid Waste Division as Secretary Clerk, and then in May of 2000, she moved over to wastewater, right? And became an administrative assistant at that time. Administrative supervisor in December of 2005, right? Make sure we got these right, because we don't, we'll get, you blame Tomowitz, right? And promoted to procurement specialist in May of 2018. As you can see by the smile on her face, I think for all the legacy and for all the high quality of work and for all the standards of excellence that she's had, she has a love for life that shows each and every day when she comes to work. And that love of life and that zest for it, it carries out throughout this building and throughout our many, many friends here. Karen is married to that fella Brian back there. Where is he? Right back there? There he is. She has 4 children, Katie, Shannon, Kelly, and Tommy. And she has granddaughters, and as you might imagine, she adores her grandchildren more than anything in the world. She enjoys camping. Right? And matter of fact, I believe your trip is to Maine coming up, right? Going camping up to Maine next week, and the annual trip and the big lobster fest when she gets out. The problem with Karen is she can't sit still, right? So she loves to travel, she loves to meet people, and by the way, takes care of other people as well. You're envied here for the way that you look after, particularly those elderly folks in your life who you care about. And I think the most important thing is that you're just a fun person who truly enjoys each and every day. And finally here, which we think is the capping stone for her career, that's what Bob Tomowitz is saying right now too. Because Karen has survived years with Bob Tomowitz. So we think that counts for something extra, and hopefully is a little extra in your pension check as well, because you deserve it. From all of us here, Karen, for the days of the smiles, but most importantly for the high quality of work and the standard you set. Thank you so very much. No one deserves a more appropriate, long, and healthy retirement than you. And on behalf of all of us at the MCOA, thank you for a job well done. Bring them up. Sure, bring them up.
You need a wide screen or something?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's quite
You
right.
got 2 levels. You got 2 levels.
How are you, Karen?
I'm happy.
How are you?
Good, how you doing, Brian?
Good. Hello, how are you? Hi, who is this? Ellen. How are you? Nice to see you. And what is your name?
Cassidy.
Matthew, how are you? Come on in.
Jamie's not gonna come up.
This is Charlotte.
Charlotte, oh Charlotte, I'm sorry. Oh, I think I scared her, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, you go ahead with your family here, and I'll sneak in on the side. In fact,
You want me to go to the other side?
no, okay. All right. Proclamation by the Board of Commissioners of the Middlesex County Utility Authorities hereby issues the following proclamation on behalf of Karen Van Kuren. Whereas Karen Van Kuren has worked at the Middlesex County Utilities Authority for a period of 24 years, and whereas Karen will be concluding her employment with the authority by way of retirement from her current title of Procurement Specialist on July 1st, 2019. And whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to thank Karen for her years of faithful service to the authority, and whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to memorialize the expression of congratulations to Karen Van Kuren by way of a proclamation presented at a public meeting of the Board. Now therefore, the Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims its sincere gratitude to Karen for her contributions over the course of her career to the authority and extends its best wishes to her upon her retirement from service. Karen, congratulations, and have many, many years of
Thank you,
retirement.
Ted. Ah, girl. Hippie look.
And Karen, have Bob join you for a photo as well.
Come on,
Got the
Bob.
white ankle lines on you? Wait, she's done changing.
Hey, hippie look.
Everybody look, hey.
There you go.
I know.
Thank you.
I know, I can't believe he's a lawyer either.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, thank you, Karen. Enjoy the trip to Maine.
I
Bring
will.
us back some lobster. That was pointless. Thanks, Drew.
Say that, I thought it was an oxymoron, but it's all fun and games until somebody needs a bail application, and then we're pretty important. Wait, what have you heard?
Thank you to Karen and Bob and their families for joining with us. And now we have a motion to the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of May 28th, 2019.
So moved?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes of May 28th, 2019 are adopted. Any public comments or questions on the resolutions that are before us today? We have resolutions that range from A to U, is it? No, it goes down to X. Any member of the public have a question on any of the items that will be discussed for resolutions? If not, I'll turn it over to our executive director and ask him to run through the items for us.
Thank you, Chairman. Item A is two pre-treatment applications. One is an initial, 31233 is for Tropical Cheese, which is located in Perth Amboy, and the other is for Hummel Croton, which is in South Plainfield, and that is a renewal. Item B is a contract award, as you can see, with AGL Welding. That is a 2-year contract. Total is $62,500. The first year is for $30,105, not to exceed. Item C is an award on Charter Machine Company. They do our bell presses, and they're located in Metuchen. Again, a 2-year contract. The first year limit is $248K, or half of the $496 that you see on the resolution. Item D is our hypochlorite, as you know, for our mixing. This is the sole bidder, and cost is there before you at $1.4 million. Item E is a not to exceed $924,000. There were 2 bidders on this. The second bidder came in at 1.1. So our $924,000 here, the award went to Graymont. In the next, which is the lime as well, the award went to Carmos, who lost the other bid. Graymont came in at that bid at $676,000. So item F, as you can see, is not to exceed $657,000, all used in our process in the central treatment plant. Item G is our contract term with the overhead cranes. This is a not to exceed 2-year contract with the first year being at $150,000. Item H, the gravity thicketers that we talked about also as well in the engineering meeting. This is a time-only 93-day extension to BR Welding. There's no cost associated with this extension. Item I, which is our primary tank rehab, which is an ongoing effort. As we talked about with weather delays and the rest, this is a time-only extension of 183 days as well. Item J is an authorization to rebid. This is our pipe fittings on the force main emergencies. We didn't receive any bids, and we're asking for your consideration to go out and rebid the item. We did get and solicit comments back as to what we need to do to make sure that we get bids next time out. Item K is DMS Systems. This is an extension of 97 days so that we may in fact comparably go out to rebid this job. Item L is a not to exceed. HMH, by the way, is Hackensack Meridian Health. You know when somebody explains it to you 3 times but you still don't get it right? It's HMH, it's Hackensack Meridian. This is a 2-year contract with the first year not to exceed half of. As you know, we provide physicals for our employees each year. Item M is simply a name change. Item N is the ability to join a co-op with the Union County Pricing Co-op. Item O is for our safety shoes at Red Wings. As you might imagine, we do give our employees a stipend, and this allows them to shop on. Actually, they'll be here, right, Victor?
They happened, they were already here.
Yeah, they're already here. So, item P is our force main and gravity sewer with CRS. This is a no-cost 60-day extension only. Item Q is our excavator, which is a capital budget item. It was approved in last year's capital, and the pricing of $53,000 fits in with our expected or cost. Item R is, this is for to capital. These are capital expenditures. They are for cameras as we begin, cameras and licensing as we begin to put cameras on our perimeter to enhance our security outlook here at the facility overall, and that's here at the central treatment plant. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Item S is our side slope closure, as we discussed a little bit in the engineering committee. This is a commitment that we made to the folks in our landfill meetings, which occurred both in January and here. This is our closure for the side slope on the final cap. The original bid came in at $1.1 million higher than what we ultimately settled here. We went out to bid twice. We had to negotiate and ultimately ended up going with the Bonzo here. We also believe that there's an opportunity for cost savings because we will be providing soil. This is part of the commitment we made and part of our closure on the slope for the East Brunswick landfill. Item T is Bayshore provides cover material to us, so we actually make money on this deal. It should be $130,000 or so. Item U is the gas engine. This is the transition or maintenance over from Northeast Remsco. That's why you see a significant credit of $2.6 million. However, Pure Energy will be taking over the maintenance of the actual gen set. Item V. Item V is our Falcon. We have, to prevent seagulls from coming on our landfill, the DEP requires us to find a way to not have seagulls, and the most effective way to do that is to bring in falcons. So the falcons come in, and they come in twice a week, which is what this is. You will see us later actually come in for a longer-term contract on this. It works very effectively, all right? And they tell me now that the seagulls even leave when the truck pulls up. They don't wait for the falcon to actually come, but as different as it sounds, it's an effective tool to remove the seagulls, go out to the marsh. W is our preparation, as you know, for our completion for the local finance board, and X is the award to begin the process of a new warehouse to be used in conjunction with our neighbors with the Fire Academy, and would be located over adjacent to the Fire Academy as well.
Okay.
Item W, Joe, is that, what are we going to the local finance board for?
Karen, can you,
Yes, we are going to be doing some extensive projects at the landfill, including the slope cover, and some other things that are going to cost several $1 million in a very short period of time. And the division manager, Paul Clark, and I believe that the most effective way to pay for that is to get some financing, and we do need the local finance board approval in order to do that. We are having conversations with our bond counsel and also with our financial planner to make sure that we do everything appropriately. You're welcome.
Okay. Is there any other comments or questions on the resolutions that the executive director just ran over? All right, there seeing none, then I will ask for a motion to adopt the resolutions by consent adoption. May we have a motion to do that?
Move for adoption of agenda items 7A through X.
Is there a second? Second. All right, we have a second. Moved and adopted, all in favor?
No, we got to do a roll call.
Okay,
Chairman Light,
yes.
Vice Chairman Wiley,
Yes.
Commissioners Convery,
Yes.
Seal,
yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Juliano, Murray, Roder,
Yes.
Okay, and they all have been adopted and approved. We have a copy of the payment of bills report for the wastewater division, also for the solid waste division. Each commissioner should have a copy of those to take a look at. So if there's no questions on those, may we have an approval to approve all of the bills of the solid waste and wastewater divisions.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Secretary call the roll.
Chairman Light,
Yes?
Vice Chairman Wiley,
Yes.
Commissioners Convery,
Yes.
Seal,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Juliano,
Yes.
Murray, Roder,
Yes.
Do we have any necessary for an executive session? Anybody?
No.
Okay, so we put the executive session off, and we're in for committee reports. I know you had an engineering committee. Would you like to make your...
Sure, Chairman. Yeah, so in addition to some of the contract changes, many of which were no cost, we did discuss the rebid on the side slope, and the contract award for the engineering for the warehouse, and we got updates on the Sayreville and Edison FEMA projects. The Sayreville project is about $84 million in, at about 70% complete, and the Edison is $20 million, just under $20 million, at 73% complete. All projects are a little bit behind schedule, but not a crazy amount of time. So we look forward to, we might recapture some of those days over the coming month or so. But projects are moving along nicely.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other committee reports? Seeing none? Oh, I do. The next meeting, yes, I wanted to make it. Our next meeting is August. We don't have a meeting in July. So our next meeting is August 20th. I want to make note of that. And is there any other comments or questions that the commissioners have? No, not in July. All right, if you're seeing none then, I'll open the meeting to the public to see if there's any comments or questions from the public. Yes, sir. You come up, tell us your name, et cetera, and so forth.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Charles Cradwell, New Brunswick today.
I know your name, but that's all right. We had to get it on
For the record.
Charles.
And I do want to begin by thanking the authority and everyone who was involved with the open house at the landfill on May 11th. I was able to
All right.
make it out there, and I didn't know what to expect in some ways, but I was I thought the presentation was impressive, and I thought it was nice that we were allowed to go all the way to the top and see for ourselves the situation. So thank you for putting that together and for the opportunity to be a part of it. I have a number of questions, including a couple of things I want to follow up on from the prior meeting. I was at your reorganization meeting. But first, I just want to understand about the structure of the board and the committees. What committees are there, for instance, besides engineering?
It's Finance Committee, Personnel Committee.
Okay. The reason I ask is I see on your website you have...
No, sorry. Well, we have four. Where's I put the list here? Hold on just a minute. We have four committees. We have finance, engineering, personnel, and administrative.
Administrative, okay. And so The reason I ask is because you have a section on your website for committee meeting minutes, and the most recent minutes are from January 2017. Engineering and finance goes, the most recent one is October 2016, and there's none of the other two. So I would just ask that those documents be produced
Get that
and
updated.
put on the website. And if I may ask, why were the commissioner meetings moved to Tuesdays from Thursdays?
You just thought that was gonna be a better day.
Okay, and, respectfully would ask that, if you do look at the times of the meetings, I think that for public input and involvement, having it at 4 p.m., makes it significantly harder for a lot of working people to make it, so I would encourage next time you look at the schedule to consider moving closer to 6 or 7, like most of the municipal
We'll
meetings.
make a note and discuss that.
Thank you. And there was a reference to the bond counsel. Can you tell me who that is, or which firm is the bond counsel?
It would be our firm, Madam Scotland Bauman.
Okay, so you're the general counsel and the bond counsel.
Yes.
Okay. And so to follow up on the items that I wanted to find out about, at your reorg I asked about the proposal to privatize Edison's sewer system, and how that might affect the MCUA, and whether or not the MCUA has a position on it, and the executive director told me that you had asked the chief engineer to look at it.
Right.
And, I haven't been to your meeting since then, so if you talked about it, I missed it, but could you just tell me what
Sure.
what the finding was?
Our finding is that for us, we receive what Edison provides us. So for us, there's no real issue. Either way, we have a neutral position on it without having taken a vote of the board, but from the staff position, it's a neutral position.
Okay. And the other question I had on that was that some of the proponents of the privatization were saying that the system is really in disrepair or desperate need of upgrades. Does the MCUA have any gauge on which town sewer systems are in the best shape, or where Edison's might rank?
We do an annual I&I, an I&I program, and we encourage every community, and we work with every community to improve the I&I situation in each and every town. I&I is an ongoing part of the world of sewage authorities, to put it mildly.
For those of us who don't know the abbreviation, infiltration and
Infill.
Infill.
Infill and infiltration.
okay. And
We have
so
an
any
ongoing
idea?
program with every community. They submit reports to us for what needs to be done. And clearly I've seen where Edison has talked about the need for improvement in I&I, and we wholeheartedly would agree with that.
Okay, and so just, is there a way to compare the towns? Is there, for instance, ranking of best shape to worst shape?
Well, we have a program, we work with each town. They do supply us, but you wouldn't want to rank, for example, a smaller community and their needs versus a larger community. So you look at them each individually as a result.
Understood. And so those I&I reports, those would be public documents?
Yes, they would be, Charlie.
Great. So, and then finally, just want to say, looks like you have a great sound system here, and so do you record the meeting? Is there an audio recording made of the meeting?
No,
No.
Okay, I would just,
yeah.
constructive suggestion, I would,
It's not made now, but.
No, we don't audio. It's a constructive suggestion, and we'll take it down.
just in case I can't make it here, I know that, it'd be helpful to be able to obtain that, have a record so that it's all very clear what was said.
I got you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to address the board today, commissioners today? All right, there seeing none, we'll close the public portion, and we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Anybody who does not vote for it can stay.